LionMaker. Now that's probably a name that you haven't heard in years. Why is this? What happened to LionMaker? Where is he now? Are questions you likely have if you happen to click on this video. So today, I'm going to be answering those very questions as to what happened to him. Today, I'll be going over the story of LionMaker, his rise to fame, and his inevitable downfall that occurred. LionMaker made his YouTube channel in 2013, where he would upload Minecraft videos with the primary goal of entertaining a younger audience. LionMaker would go on to collaborate with big YouTubers such as Stampy Longnose and Big B Stats. By 2014, LionMaker achieved an audience of over 100,000 subscribers. Now while this doesn't seem like much in the grand scheme of things, this is a very significant audience for how long he made videos. Generally, it takes YouTubers years to grow an audience of that size. Now this growth could have been caused by any number of things. These things being that Minecraft was a highly wanted style of content on YouTube at that time, and, like said earlier, he had collaborated with much bigger creators. LionMaker would go on to achieve an even bigger audience of nearly 800,000 subscribers in 2017. Everything was looking good for LionMaker. LionMaker had a huge audience for the time he spent on YouTube. He had a thriving fan base that loved the content he produced. He was well respected throughout the Minecraft community, and had a stable career on YouTube where he could make money doing what he loved. This all changed one day. All the success and fans he had achieved slowly disappeared. So what happened? What happened to LionMaker? Creators such as Keemstar and Colossal's Crazy both reported on the drama that happened to LionMaker. They made allegations such as pedophilia and manipulation targeted towards LionMaker. I think this is a rather good time to use my detective skills and figure out if these claims had substantial proof or if they were easily debunkable. I'll start with the pedophilia accusation, seeing as this is the most serious one. LionMaker was accused of this for various reasons. The first accusation was presented on Keemstar's channel, Drama Alert, when he had an interview with the mom of an alleged victim of LionMaker. The mom had stated that her child had received a new iPad from their school, in which his child had watched YouTube and eventually got into contact with LionMaker. Afterwards, LionMaker allegedly had tried to get this child to give him nudes on both Twitter and Skype. After Keemstar's video on the drama, LionMaker quickly made a twit longer defending himself. Hey there, guys! I want to take a moment to address. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to read the tweets that way. Anyways, hey there, guys. I want to take a moment to address the allegations that have been leveled toward me. I apologize that it has taken me so long to speak out against them. I did not want my family and fans to be subjected to the harsh realities that come with being in the public eye, whether big or small. I understand now that it was inevitable and that I should have spoken in my defense sooner. For the better part of a year, I have been the target of aggressive action by an individual that holds a grudge against me. This individual managed to hack into my accounts, discovered that I have a history of alcohol addiction, and that I once attempted suicide, which resulted in discharge from the army. I paid the hacker blackmail money in order to hide those secrets from my fans. I am not perfect. I am merely a man with a past who wishes to rise above the worst version of himself. I am not that person anymore, and I never wish to be him again. While the hacker had control of my accounts, they used it to access fans on Twitter, focused on a 13-year-old girl who tried to have her send illicit photos to my account. Thankfully, she did not do this. Her mother contacted me and demanded an apology from me despite no wrongdoing on my part. I felt backed into a corner, and after many attempts on her part to badger me, I sent her an email telling her to desist slandering my name. She refuses to accept that I was hacked because I will not name the individual. The only circumstance in which I will release that information is if the police contact me. I welcome this investigation wholeheartedly because it will reveal the truth, and when that truth becomes known, I want this mother to know that I will not ask her for an apology. She is simply trying to protect her child. I only wish to say to her that this is what the hackers wanted, and that she played beautifully into their hands. To those individuals who believe my version to be false, I ask only that you direct your comments at me, and not my family, friends, and fans. They are innocent people who do not deserve the harm you are doing to them. There are good and bad days, and I'm thankful to my family, friends, and fans who have stuck this out with me. I promise, I will try not to let you down. Keemstar then added commentary onto what was said by LionMaker.
None of this makes sense. Apparently, he's being blackmailed by someone, and he's only going to reveal the person that hacked him and that is blackmailing him if the police contact him. Your account asked a 13-year-old girl for nudes. You're being hacked and blackmailed. Why would anybody be waiting for the police to contact you? If you are the victim, like you say you are, shouldn't you be contacting the police? Literally, this guy is a pedophile. I don't believe a word of it. I mean, this is the worst fucking excuse I've ever heard in my life. And I'm trying to stay biased because I'm the news guy, just trying to get you the information. But this is bullshit. Like, this is the stupidest fucking response I've ever seen in my life. Like, this guy, by the way, if you search on YouTube, this is just makes me so angry. If you search on YouTube, LionMaker and Booty, okay, you're going to find a lot of kids making a song that LionMaker asked them to make about booties in their face. I mean, it's fucking pedophilia. It's all over YouTube. This dude's disgusting. I've invited you to come on this show and defend yourself. I mean, dude, I want you and Susie on here. I want you to talk this out. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. I'll apologize to you. But, dude, this is ridiculous. This dude needs to be in a cage. Put him in a cage.
Personally, I agree with Keemstar. If LionMaker was being hacked and being blackmailed, one of which is a crime, he should have reported this person to the police. He also should have named the hacker, considering that this hacker had asked an underage girl for nudes. LionMaker was undoubtedly lying in this circumstance and wasn't being hacked. However, I'll get more into LionMaker's lies later in this video where I prove him wrong. Some of LionMaker's friends also had an interview on Keemstar's channel regarding LionMaker and their experience with him. The first friend of LionMaker, that friend being CNG, had stated that LionMaker was nice to him and that he had never treated him poorly. CNG also goes on to state that LionMaker had invited him onto an event in which CNG would have to stay in the same hotel room as LionMaker. LionMaker had insisted on getting CNG to do this. While there's nothing inherently wrong with LionMaker attempting at doing this, and initially he seemed nice for this action, Keemstar has speculation.
Do you think that he might have tried something inappropriate with you if you would have stayed with him?
To be honest, I really don't know. But by the looks of it, like, it can be viewed in two ways. I mean,
well, I just think it's weird that an adult, right, would invite a child to stay in their place. I can't picture any other YouTubers, that are that old inviting a child to stay in their hotel room or rent it.
Keemstar then invited another guest on his video that also happened to be LionMaker's friend at one point in time. This friend being Sleek Ozzy. Sleek Ozzy had explained that LionMaker would take screenshots of his face multiple times in a Skype call where both of them had their webcams on. Keep in mind that Sleek Ozzy was 15 at the time and LionMaker was 25 or 26. The third and final person that Keemstar interviewed was Luke, who was also a friend of LionMaker. Luke had made allegations toward LionMaker, stating that LionMaker had paid a hacker to hack his own friends.
And he came to me about asking about software about putting on my computer, and at the time I saw nothing of it. Extremebo comes to me, puts the software on my computer. It was an antivirus, so I thought it was actually a backdoor to my computer, to where it had access to my webcam, had access to my files. He actually hacked my Twitter, went on and started blocking YouTubers to make it look like that they had unfollowed me, and then I re-followed them.
LionMaker paid a hacker to rat you.
Oh, certainly. He tried to defame me, basically completely, get rid of me off YouTube completely.
And he had access to your webcam, was just literally spying to you?
Well, I don't know. I'm 21. I'm sure he'd have a good time, yeah.
You might be a little too old for him.
Perhaps.
Who did he do this to? Did he have this hacker Expo hack anyone else?
Well, this is the thing, you see. He actually sent the file so LionMaker could use it as much as he wanted. And I believe that the members of his team were having problems with their computers at the time. And a lot of things were going wrong. And not only that, there's a lot of YouTubers that I found a way how to remove this hack off my computer. That was Malwarebytes, Hitman Pro, and Norton. And I went round and I helped a lot of YouTubers remove this specific backdoor, because obviously people that had been in contact with Lion, I went and contacted.
Keemstar then had this to say.
So it's quite possible that LionMaker hacked all of these kids that he makes videos with, his whole team, all these children, and was spying on them through their webcam, looking through their pictures and private stuff. I mean, this is just absolutely disgusting.
It's important to note that these were only allegations, and to this day, none of them have been proven. However, I still think that it's significant to talk about this considering LionMaker's past and the horrible things he's done before. LionMaker was then accused of sexually hitting on an underage girl, primarily, again, by his own friends. After these tweets were sent, Keemstar talked about the situation regarding LionMaker on his Twitter account.
Studies have shown that pedophiles usually are sexually attracted to kids because when they were a child, they were sexually abused. So if this is what happened to you when you were a kid, why would you want to do this to more kids? Why would you want to create more monsters like yourself? Stop being so selfish. Admit you have a problem, get better, and leave the Minecraft community that's filled with children before you create more monsters.
This sparked what will go down in history, something everyone was surprised of at the time. LionMaker seemingly had a mental breakdown on Twitter where he made a tweet saying,
"Since @PaigeThePanda was 15, her and I have had several sexual exchanges on Skype.
LionMaker then made another tweet that said,
I have fooled all of you and have made plenty of money while doing it. Keemstar was right. All along, I'm a pervert that should just KYS.
LionMaker made a bunch of other tweets when he had this mental breakdown. However, my friend Albini won't be reading them all out, considering that would take too much time to do. Instead, I'll be leaving them on the screen for whoever wishes to read them. He can pause the video if he'd like to read them all. Afterwards, Keemstar having to add commentary onto the situation, stating that he had suspected that LionMaker wasn't hacked, and that in actuality, LionMaker broke up with PaigeThePanda.
Everybody was shocked when these tweets came out. I mean, shocked. We thought maybe he's being sarcastic, maybe he was hacked. But I think what really happened is Paige broke off the relationship.
I don't agree with this statement, primarily because PaigeThePanda had come out to the entirety of the community saying she was sorry on Twitter for the events that took place. All I can say is I'm sorry. I lied to a lot of friends and family, and I'm sorry. Personally, I think Paige wouldn't have said sorry if she had broken up with LionMaker. However, keep in mind that these are only my speculations, and I can't definitively say why LionMaker did indeed have this mental breakdown. However, I suspect that the cause of this was due to the backlash he received following the allegations. I suspect this is why he did have a mental breakdown, mainly because he's shown many times in the past that he struggles with hate centered around his name. This is a video on Twitter of LionMaker crying because people kept making fun of him.
For the past year, I've been made fun of in so many different ways. I've seen my picture, my face on so many different things. That, yeah, you're right. I don't know what it's like anymore to know the boundaries of what to post or what not to post.
I'd assume that people were only talking about the situation surrounding PaigeThePanda while making lighthearted jokes centered around what LionMaker did in the past. Which, of course, I'd also assume that LionMaker manipulated the situation so that he was the victim, and so it seemed that LionMaker was being unnecessarily harassed. Now, of course, I can't get into the legitimacy of such an assumption because, quite frankly, I wasn't there and I've never seen said tweets where people, quote, made fun of LionMaker. However, this is besides the point. My point is LionMaker struggles with backlash/hate. Now, if this isn't enough evidence for you, I have more. LionMaker got rid of his like to dislike ratio, which only shows that he's hiding from possible hate on his videos. I've also seen comments where LionMaker says that he manually reviews comments to see if they're hateful towards him. There's a reason why there's only 54 comments. Yes, there are over 425 comments that need approval, and sadly there is only one person to take care of them. I'll only see the ones approved by them. My rule of thumb is, I'm happy to address things, but if you insult my family, friends, viewers, or myself, then I don't want to see it. I think LionMaker is lying. I also think he's hiding from the truth and that he's not allowing people that criticize him about his past to be accepted. Now, of course, this is again speculation and only an assumption. However, I do in fact think this is true. Nevertheless, I think the real reason as to why LionMaker had a mental breakdown was not because PaigeThePanda had broken up with him, but because of all the backlash centered around his name. Anyways, LionMaker then posted a picture of PaigeThePanda in her underwear, which he then followed up by a nude picture of PaigeThePanda. Keep in mind that Paige is 16 years old. So regardless if LionMaker and Paige could legally have sex, as stated in LionMaker's response video to Keemstar, this was undoubtedly illegal. Anyhow, Keemstar posted a video on Twitter where he explained how studies show that being sexually abused as a child can make someone more likely to be a pedophile. Of course, this could have very well been the video that pushed LionMaker to the point where he made those disgusting tweets. LionMaker then claimed that he was actually hacked and that none of this was his fault. However, this was far from the truth.
And of course, when he was posting out the child porn, I wasn't sure if he was doing it or if he was hacked. So I sent him a DM saying, "Who is on this account?" Well, he tweeted out a picture of the DM that I sent to him saying, "Now why would Keemstar ask me this? This is the only reason I suspect him." However, if you pay attention to the background of his computer when he's showing this screenshot, you can clearly tell it's the same background and same Apple computer as the pictures of the child porn that he claims he never tweeted out.
Like stated earlier in this video, I think LionMaker had a mental breakdown. I suspect this is the most likely scenario, considering LionMaker already had mental health problems in the past, and has lied various other times in this situation, not to mention the fact that Keemstar proved that LionMaker wasn't actually hacked. Nevertheless, after all this happened on Twitter, LionMaker was mass flagged for posting images that broke the terms of service.
But what happened next was absolutely disgusting, absolutely shocking. And many YouTubers and many people all in the community, from every community, were in uproar about this. He tweeted out a nude picture of the 15-year-old girl. Now, we didn't screenshot that, and we're not going to show you that because that is child porn. Many YouTubers in FIFA, YouTubers in GTA, YouTubers from League of Legends, from Minecraft, from the COD community, all grouped together last night on Twitter asking their fans to flag his Twitter for child
LionMaker was
pornography.
then suspended on Twitter, which resulted in numerous YouTubers making videos on LionMaker regarding the drama, the most prominent of which being Colossal's Crazy, Leafy is Here, and Keemstar. Hey, I just wanted to say that I forgot to mention something earlier and I just noticed it while editing. LionMaker also happened to try and get a minor to send him news for the price of $500. This is evident because LionMaker had sent a 15-year-old boy by the name of Steven $500 on PayPal.
The weirdest shit happens, and I told all my friends about this one. I've let all my friends know about this. You could, like, you know, I told him the same day it happened. He's like, oh, hey, I'll send you some money on PayPal if you send me some nudes. I was like, what the fuck?
$50. LionMaker Studios.
Yep.
Refunded on June the 12th.
Steven also claimed that LionMaker has sent him porn multiple times on Skype. I'm not sure about the legitimacy of such claims, however I suspect that they're true, considering that he probably has little to no motive to lie, and LionMaker has acted this way to children before. Nevertheless, the community turned on LionMaker for what he did. LionMaker had received a tremendous amount of backlash, and in turn, he threatened to sue people. In 2016, LionMaker threatened to sue multiple people regarding the drama if they refused to stop slandering LionMaker within the time span of 48 hours. Now, of course, LionMaker didn't sue said people considering that this wasn't actually slander, but he did indeed threaten these people with a lawsuit. So who were these people? The people that LionMaker threatened to sue were Susie, the mother of the 13-year-old victim, Keemstar, the person reported on the news regarding LionMaker, and finally Bossum, a YouTuber that made a video regarding the situation and his take on it. Bossum happened to be 14 years old, so suing him would have been extremely challenging, considering that he was a minor. Not to mention, the reason behind LionMaker's threat to sue, that being slander, wasn't in fact true. So LionMaker had a slim chance of winning this lawsuit even if he had tried. So how did these people that were threatened to sue initially respond? Keemstar had this to say about these lawsuit threats.
So LionMaker, if you're listening, in the words of my attorney, bring it on. We're gonna have a field day with this.
Susie then responded by saying, "Now, it's afternoon break and I'm still chuckling. You threatened to sue me, pedo maker. Bring it on, real LionMaker. Bring it on." So what was the aftermath of these tweets, the responses that occurred, the countless illegal things LionMaker did, and the drama regarding the situation? LionMaker ended up deleting every video on his channel, including the ones where he had defended himself. This was the end of the LionMaker story, or so everyone suspected. A couple months after the event, LionMaker was invited into a podcast with one of the YouTubers who had criticized him. This YouTuber being Colossal's Crazy.
You can say the same for me. If I'm in a relationship with a 16-year-old, I'm 28, same age as you, is that fucked up? It's a very, very simple question. You only have to answer yes or no.
I don't, Colossal, because
I find it interesting that you're dodging that question when it's a very simple question.
I'm not dodging the question.
I don't think you can answer it. I think your moral compass is completely fucked and you can't answer it. That's what I think. You physically cannot answer that question.
It was a 2-hour-long podcast that happened 7 months after the drama regarding LionMaker. LionMaker had left many questions unanswered and had changed the original story of the situation he gave earlier.
Did she, at any point in time, send you naked pictures of herself?
No.
She at no point sent you a naked picture ever?
No.
Did she ever have a sexual conversation with you?
No.
Not once?
Not sexual, no.
There was never any talk about sex? Nothing of that nature whatsoever?
And I'm happy you
then
asked.
Why
Not with me.
Look, why on earth did you call it an intimate relationship?
Because at the time we were getting close. Like, we were getting closer in the sense of, like, I was a lot there for Paige.
Colossal's Crazy then added commentary and his own thoughts on what LionMaker had stated previously.
Intimate means to a lot of people that it's a very consensual, almost sexual relationship. Now, maybe not quite sexual, but there were certainly talks of intimacy. That is the word. No, I mean, that is friendship. What you're talking about, like a shoulder to lean on, a discussion about life and the problems you're having, that is friendship, not an intimate relationship.
Colossal then called him out for changing his story.
So why the choice of intimate relationship? And I'm very confused that obviously, now you said at the time, whether you still stand by this, we're going to get into it, that you were hacked when these pictures of Paige were posted on your Twitter account. Why on earth you felt to clarify that, to kind of justify what had happened, that you called it an intimate relationship with PaigeThePanda? Why? What? That obviously just works against you. What was the logic behind that?
Everything was working against me at the time, Colossal. There was absolutely nothing that I was doing.
I understand, but you must realize, like, you're an intelligent guy. You and I both know, despite what a lot of people think, that you're an intelligent person. Why on earth did you call it an intimate relationship?
Because at the time, that felt like the right thing to do, and I was.
But if it's not true, then why did you say it?
Because, again,
in the hopes of what?
In the hopes
it just
that
proves
it would
other
deviate
people's points. But it wouldn't deviate from anything. You're basically confirming other people's suspicions by saying it was an intimate relationship.
Now, I'm not going to be going over the entire podcast, or even summarizing it for that matter, considering it would take too long to do so. If you're interested in hearing this podcast, it'll be in the description below. Anyhow, LionMaker was also charged various times. In fact, PaigeThePanda, a person that was abused by LionMaker, took LionMaker to court.
So, Paige, your first question was, why did you take LionMaker, aka Marcus, to court?
Took him to court because for 3 years of my life we were in an online relationship, and in those 3 years it was basically just abuse, mental and sexual kind, so, you know.
Paige then explains that LionMaker got charged for his actions and ended up going to jail.
Did he end up going to jail?
He did, but this was before the whole court thing actually happened. So December 23rd up until end of September-ish time, he was in jail.
What year? December
2016 till October, till end of September, beginning of October 2017. He was under investigation, I think, so I think that's why they kept him out. And then we cut ties in July 2017, so that's where the break-off period begins.
PaigeThePanda also elaborated on why he didn't just turn off the computer and simply forget about LionMaker entirely.
It's not as simple as just turning your computer off and that being it. This guy was threatening me, threatening to send messages to my family. It it just wasn't a healthy relationship that didn't give me the option to leave until we were physically not able to actually get it. Well, he wasn't able to physically get at me while he was in jail, and I was able to kind of realise I needed to get out of that situation.
She happened to explain that LionMaker had abused her for 3 years by shouting at her, cutting her name into his arm, being blamed for seemingly no reason, being an alcoholic, scarring her, and recording her crying, and a number of other serious things. So you're probably wondering what LionMaker was charged for.
The charges were rape, sexual assault, manufacturing child pornography, distributing child pornography. So he didn't dispute any of the charges, which my lawyer was actually quite surprised at, because the kind of person he is, she expected him to plead innocent, but obviously that didn't happen. So we were quite shocked at how smoothly it went. There wasn't any he didn't say I didn't do this or anything. In fact, he actually apologised to me in court when it was his chance to speak. Obviously, I didn't understand the word of it because he was speaking in Dutch, but my interpreter did say that he was saying sorry and what have you.
The charges weren't as serious as one might expect compared to what he had done. Paige even admitted that LionMaker in truth was never actually hacked, and that he had actually spoken to that 13-year-old girl, asking her for nudes, while he was drunk. However, I won't be going over the entire video, but what LionMaker did was entirely disgusting. Now, I certainly don't doubt any of these allegations, brought up against LionMaker by children when this all went down. However, a significant portion of them provide little to no evidence. Comparatively, there's no evidence that debunks such claims, and if we consider what LionMaker had done in the past and what he was charged with, I certainly don't doubt these allegations. Hey, this is just another various update in regard to something that happened to LionMaker as of current. LionMaker's YouTube channel has since been deleted, and the reason behind YouTube only now taking action is likely due to the fact that numerous people were complaining about the deplatformization of creators like Leafy in comparison to LionMaker not being deplatformed. YouTube likely heard this news and rightfully deplatformed LionMaker. Of course, it was 100% deserved, seeing as the horrible things he's done. Anyways, on to the next segment. I think everyone deserves a defense, no matter what they're accused of. This is going to be the segment of my video where I attempt at defending LionMaker and seeing his side of the story, regardless of my stance on the drama and my opinions on what happened all those years ago. To start this segment, LionMaker has claimed many times that people are lying about him strictly for views or to, quote, jump on a bandwagon. My video has no intention of jumping on a bandwagon. I'm simply interested in the topic at hand, so I'd like to talk about it and provide some additional opinions on it and what happened.
I know, Jonathan, this is interesting. You say stop lying, but what else am I supposed to do?
LionMaker openly admitted in this clip that happened on one of his streams that he was lying about the situation. However, let's disregard this clip for the purposes of this segment. Let's say LionMaker accidentally admitted to lying about the entire situation on his stream. Of course, this is far from likely. However, let's just go with this. In 2015, only a couple days after LionMaker had publicly posted nude photos of an underage girl, Keemstar made a video regarding LionMaker where he said this in said video.
To LionMaker. LionMaker, you're still claiming that you're innocent. You're still claiming that you were hacked, that this is some big misunderstanding. We can only truly, fully understand each other through communication. And it appears that you are playing a game that's very familiar to your channel. One of the series you have is hide and seek. It seems like you're hiding, shutting down your Twitter, not communicating at all to anyone, just uploading videos with the comments privatized. I would like to invite you publicly to come on this show and help us understand how we have the story wrong as you claim. Again, we can only fully understand each other through communication. So you are invited to come on this show for an interview.
LionMaker never accepted this interview. He had a chance to defend himself publicly, however he simply refused to accept this offer. I'm not sure as to why LionMaker would refuse this offer if he was innocent, seeing as Keemstar was one of the biggest creators reporting on the drama at the time and had brought many of these allegations to light. If LionMaker was innocent, there would be no reason as to why he wouldn't defend himself on Drama Alert. However, let's say that LionMaker was too nervous or scared to do so. What exactly was LionMaker's defense, and did it have substantial proof to support it? LionMaker's LionMaker's original defense was that he was hacked. Like said earlier, this claim was proven false on multiple occasions, and I've already established as to why this was so evidently false earlier in this video, so I won't be doing it again. Anyhow, let's say that LionMaker was in fact hacked. Keep in mind that this is all hypothetical for the purposes of seeing LionMaker's side of the story. I do not think LionMaker is innocent. However, I do in fact think he deserves a defense. Nevertheless, let's say LionMaker was actually hacked. He was scared to go on an interview with Keemstar, and he finally got enough courage to have an interview. Even in the slimmest case of this occurring, LionMaker clearly contradicted himself throughout the entirety of Colossal's podcast, changed up the story, and avoided many of the questions. Now, I've talked about the many times LionMaker contradicted himself earlier in this video, so of course, I won't be doing that again. In conclusion of this very small segment, LionMaker is undoubtedly guilty. No matter how much someone tries to defend him, there's just too much evidence against him. LionMaker was a YouTuber that was on his way to being one of the most successful Minecraft YouTubers on the platform. He had a bright future ahead of him, and he threw it all away. So where is LionMaker now? LionMaker now has a new YouTube channel where he uploads similar content, that content being Minecraft videos. He now only has 40,000 subscribers and struggles to reach 10k views per video. LionMaker went from almost 1 million subscribers to less than 50,000 subscribers in the span of 5 short years. He went from being a YouTuber that both knew and collaborated with some of the biggest Minecraft YouTubers on the platform to being a nobody in the community. This is where I'm going to conclude my video. If you have any commentary or criticism, make sure to comment your opinion, as I'd really like to hear what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you disliked the video, give it a dislike. My name is Turns, and I'll see you in the next one.
The Turns. What's up?